Welcome to the NAFPA Home and Garden Show. I'm Wally Conway. The Home and Garden Show is brought to you by the Northeast Florida Builders Association, featuring the finest builders, remodelers, vendors, and lenders anywhere in Florida. Joining us on the Home and Garden Show today from Mossy Oak Fence is Ron Fuller. Ron,
Wally,
welcome to the Home and Garden Show.
Thank you.
I am so happy that you're here with me. You know, from the home inspection side, from the builder, remodeler side, we look at lots and lots of houses, and if there's one thing they have in common, it's really ugly fences. And it's such a shame to see a person build their dream home or remodel their home and surround it with a fence that's just ugly.
Yeah, I hate seeing that too. First thing you see when you pull in is the fence. And it can actually be a good part of your home. It can be designed well. It can architecturally enhance the look of the home. But the key is getting a good quality fence company and not the prefab panels, the Home Depot specials.
Yeah, that just doesn't play out.
Right.
And what I love about Mossy Oak also is the ability to custom make in virtually any material that's suited to my site and suited to my eye. Tell me about the special things you're able to do with wood.
Sure. So Mossy Oak, we have a culture, and it starts with what we consider the customer to be. We actually call them our client. They're under the care, guidance, and protection of our company. So that's where we start, and everything works down from there. So in terms of customization, they can actually give us a picture, and we can design a gate, or we can design the entire look based on what they want or what's going to look best with their home.
You know, I've been fortunate to spend a lot of time on the ocean front here, and that is a brutal, unforgiving environment for virtually any fence. To that customer that said, you know, I've just put $2, $3, $4 million into this home, and I want a fence that's going to look right year after year.
Absolutely.
What special things can you do on the ocean front?
Absolutely. So with the saltwater environment, we need to use stainless steel hardware, special anodized aluminum, and we can still use wood. Cedar is our specialty. But it's critical that the metal, the fasteners, the things that will actually show in terms of rust, they'll start to weep. So we're very specific in that environment.
You know, a key part of any fence is that gate, not only from a security standpoint, but it sets the tone for who I am, who's behind that gate.
Right.
So if I want an Elvis gate or a Michael Jordan gate or truly a signature gate that represents me personally or even my company, how do you help me there?
Absolutely. So we have a CNC router, we have welders, we have craftsmen at our company. So we'll take your idea, we'll try to be inspired by what you're looking for. So you can actually show us a picture, or you can give us a general idea, and we love to kind of over-deliver that vibe that is yours. This is Buzz TV. We want to create a buzz with your fence.
I like that. That's pretty darn catchy. You know, to learn more about Mossy Oaks and to have a designer come out and meet with me and turn my blah site into something really special that I drive into every day, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Sure. So I would recommend just going to our website, mossyoakfences.com, and we'll be happy to help you out.
I'd like to thank Ron Fuller from Mossy Oaks for being with us today on the Home and Garden Show. For the Home and Garden Show, I'm Wally Conway. Welcome to the NAFPA Home and Garden Show. I'm Wally Conway. The NAFPA Home and Garden Show is brought to you by the Northeast Florida Builders Association, the place to go, featuring the best remodelers, home builders, renovators, realtors, lenders, and vendors for your next project anywhere in Florida. Joining us on the Home and Garden Show from Russell Rowland Engineering is Jackie Rowland. Jackie?
Hi, Wally. Thank you for having me.
Welcome to the Home and Garden Show. Proud to have you with me. It's exciting to have you. I know about your involvement in professional women in building, and it is quite rare, to be candid, to have a young woman as a successful engineer locally.
Absolutely.
How is it that your attention to detail as a lady has helped you so much in building your business?
So I think, you know, obviously first and foremost, I am an engineer. So to be a good, solid engineer to understand codes and standards that I have to abide by is first and foremost. But obviously I am a female and I'm very detail oriented, I'm very process oriented. So I think that has helped me excel my career and really serve my clients well.
Also I see contractors having challenges. They're very similar to our own. They get into a renovation and discover an something that just no one could have predicted, and they know it's of structural consequence. They have difficulty getting an engineer to respond. How are you at working directly with my contractor?
They're one of my prime clients. So I talk to contractors, all day, every day, builders, realtors, home inspectors. We answer our phone, we show up on site, we'll be out there within a couple days.
And for the homeowner who is uncomfortable or has not yet found their contractor, found their home inspector or whatever, can you work directly with a homeowner to get them to a point of comfort so they can determine, is there anything that needs to be done, as well as specify that scope of work?
And we'll work directly with a homeowner. A lot of times if they're about to start a renovation, they may not know whether or not they have a structural concern. So we will go out there, we'll tell them, if that wall is load bearing, if there's any concern structurally. We do work directly with homeowners or contractors or realtors and inspectors.
And virtually any structural repair that you specify is going to need to be permanent work. Would that be correct?
Yes. So everything that we create signed and sealed construction documents. Those are intended to be submitted for a permit with the jurisdiction and to be inspected after that.
And to help us with the permit-related part of that repair, renovation, and remodel in your home, from Permits Made Simple is Joyce Conway. Joyce?
Hi, happy to be here.
Happy to have you. In full disclosure, people should know Joyce Conway is also my daughter, her own company, but yet the daughter. So we've got that piece out of the way, just to be honest with people. So if an engineer has specified that something needs to be done, there has to be a permit. How does Permits Made Simple work with that contractor, work with the engineer to assure that everything is done in a legal and appropriate way?
So we work with the contractors and the engineers to make sure all the paperwork is properly filled out, to make sure they're following all of the procedures that the building department requires, as well as make sure all the codes are met. And we help them to make that process easy. We save them the time and the money and the energy of the permitting process by helping them to get it through the building department in a timely fashion.
So if Jackie's working with a contractor as the contractor's engineer, the city, the building department still needs a plan review and another piece of permit process. And what you're able to do is unburden the contractor, unburden the engineer, unburden the homeowner from the compliance of that requirement and take care of it rapidly and efficiently.
Yeah, we take care of the whole process for them so they don't have to worry about it.
I happen to know, Joyce, that you've done with Permits Made Simple things as large as some of the Amazon projects,
yes,
and as simple as a roof that a homeowner wants to do on their own. Why is it so critical for the homeowner who intends to do their own work to still be compliant with the permit process?
It's for their protection and the safety of the community. They need to make sure that they follow the permitting rules and make sure everything is code compliant for their protection, for their safety.
I also know that both of you ladies are very involved in NEFBA through the Professional Women in Building. How has that relationship there through NEFBA and Professional Women in Building help you to strengthen your business and strengthen your professional relationships? I'll ask that first of you, Jackie, if you would.
So I think the Professional Women in Building Council, it's a smaller group than the NEFBA general membership. So it allows us to meet individuals who are doing similar type of work as we're doing. I met Joyce at one of their events, and to understand how my engineering goes along with her permitting process, it's a very good relationship to build.
So ultimately, it's a business builder, but more than that, it's helping you to better serve your customer, whether that customer is the contractor or homeowner. It's the strength of relationships that lets you bring great value to the customer.
Yeah, so I get asked all the time, especially from a homeowner call of, do you know a contractor? Do you know an architect that can help me out with my project? So to have that network to be able to refer, good professional services is something that I value.
So the relationships with people you know, people you trust, people you like, and you're compatible with in business.
Absolutely.
To get business done. That's excellent. What's the best way for people to learn more if they'd like to reach out and contact you to learn about your services?
So if they want to contact us, they should just go to my website. It's www.russrowe.com. There's a contact page on there. You can send me an email or give us a phone call, and we'll talk then.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Joyce, help me understand from your perspective, being so involved with NEFBA as you are, how has the Professional Women in Building, as well as the NEFBA network overall, helped you to strengthen your business to deliver more and better service to your customer?
So it has allowed me to meet and network with people that are like-minded, who run their businesses correctly and fairly, and they also, it has allowed me to meet other people to be able to share with them, the contractors, the engineers, and really connect them with people that are able to help them with the things that they need done, as well as give me support in my business and meet like-minded individuals.
And my experience has been that those contractors, remodelers, as well as support vendors much like us, who are a part of NEFPA and the various councils, it's just a stronger, better place to go than places like Craigslist. You go to Craigslist,
Yes.
who knows what's out there?
Yes.
You go through NEFPA and the councils, it's really a cut above in performance.
Yes, they're reputable companies.
Joyce, for people who'd like to learn more about your company, Permits Made Simple, what's the best way for them to make contact with you?
You can go to permitsmadesimple.com. You'll find our contact information on there, as well as our email.
I'd like to thank Joyce and Jesse for being with us today on the NEFPA Home and Garden Show. For the Home and Garden Show, I'm Wally Conway. Welcome to the NEFPA Home and Garden Show. I'm Wally Conway. The Home and Garden Show features the very finest builders, remodelers, contractors, realtors, lenders, and vendors available anywhere in Florida through the Northeast Florida Builders Association. Joining us on the show from the Bishara Law Firm is Tracy Valente. Tracy, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Wally. Thanks for having me.
Something that's on my mind, knowing how important it is that my construction documents are complete, correct, and consistent, and I know that I can trust you and the firm to have that done. Help me understand how the permit process rolls into that in ensuring I'm legal and protected.
That's a very important piece in any construction project, is making sure that the contractor is properly licensed, properly insured, and they pull all the necessary permits for the work to be done on a customer's home. So if any of those three components fail, you potentially have massive liability issues that you as the contractor are facing, as well as you as the homeowner.
There's plenty of liability and vulnerability to go around when the paperwork is not correct.
Oh, absolutely. So if a homeowner has work done and it's unpermitted, the homeowner can be in trouble with the city as well as the individual performing the work. So yeah, it's a joint liability there for work if the permit's not right.
Understood. So join us to better understand how that permit process and construction document process blends together. From Permits Made Simple is Joyce Conway. Joyce, welcome to the Home and Garden Show.
Hi, Wally. Thanks for having me.
So it is really a triple crown of documents. We have the engineering documents, the legal documents, the permit documents. They all need to blend seamlessly together. How does Permits Made Simple help the contractor, the engineer, as well as the law firm assure that third wheel, that third leg of the stool is complete, correct, and consistent?
So we make sure that all the permit documents are correctly filled out and they're in compliance with what the building departments are looking for. So we help the homeowners, the contractors, and the engineers and architects to make sure all of that is complete and handed in properly to protect everybody.
I've heard from contractors, they'll often say, I can do that myself. I can just go do it. What's the value position of having a professional pull the permits and take care of that side of the documentation?
It saves them time, money, and energy. It gives their staff time to focus on what's important in their business so we can do what we're good at.
You know, I've noticed also if a contractor is pulling a permit or two a month, there's not much expertise there. There's no relationship with the various building departments.
Exactly.
How do the existing relationships that you have amongst the building departments, how does that bring value to the contractor and homeowner?
Well, it brings a lot of value to them. It allows us to communicate with them and work with them to get things done in a fast and quick manner, as well as always do it right. And they also a lot of times will work with us. If something's not right, they give us an opportunity to fix it without it delaying their project.
Excellent. You know, Tracy, it comes to my mind when someone hasn't pulled proper permits and now we're transferring property and we have other problems, what nightmares can I have as a homeowner or the contractor when it's suddenly discovered, oops, unpermitted work?
Well, that can lead to a host of problems. Your worst case scenario potentially is the work has to be torn out. Because if there weren't permits, that means it wasn't inspected. There probably wasn't engineering drawings that went with that. So it could be a financial disaster if you're caught with unpermitted work, because the city has every right to come in and make you undo it. If it's an addition, if it's electrical work, I mean, you can really end up destroying a lot of other property that could be affected based upon that one mistake. That's a very costly mistake.
Understood. Knowing that you're both very involved with professional women in building through NEFPA, how has the relationships through the professional women in building in NEFPA helped you to strengthen your position as a business person and delivering better service to the end customer?
Well, NEFPA started PWB, which is Professional Women in Building. It's a council of that, and it's only about 1.5 years old, and we so far have had amazing success in recruiting women in the building industry. And it's lawyers, permits, we've got contractors, realtors, everyone involved in associated with that building. And it's a wonderful network opportunity for all of these people to, and it's not just women, but men are welcome.
I've been.
You have been, and we appreciate it. It's a wonderful networking opportunity, so you get to learn about other people, and you can help support other businesses in the local area. And you know that if they're part of NEFPA and if they're members of PWB, they're going to be professional. They're going to try to do it the right way, and you have an extra layer of trust there for these other professionals that you're working with.
Great way to stand out from the masses. What's the best way for a person to get involved or make contact initially with professional women in building?
So you can reach us by going on the NEFPA website. There is a Professional Women in Building link on there, as well as our Facebook, or you could give us a call at NEFPA, and they can put you in contact with us.
I'd like to thank Tracy as well as Joyce for being with us today on the NEFPA Home and Garden Show. For the Home and Garden Show, I'm Wally Conway. Welcome to the NEFPA Home and Garden Show. I'm Wally Conway. The NEFPA Home and Garden Show features the very finest builders, remodelers, lenders, vendors, and realtors from the Northeast Florida Builders Association. Joining us today on the Home and Garden Show from Jet Home Loans is Jason Kindler. Jason, welcome to the Home and Garden Show.
Hey, Wally, good morning. How are you?
I am fantastic.
Good.
You know, a lot of us would like to own a new home. One of the critical pieces to owning a new home is bringing a new bag of money to the builder so that we can execute that dream, yeah?
Absolutely.
Help me understand how Jet Home Loans helps me bridge that challenge of assuring I have the money, maybe even before I picked out the home.
Sure, absolutely. As far as the consumer, if you are looking for a new home, if you're just starting that process, the best thing that you can do is to get pre-qualified. You want to get pre-qualified and want to make sure that you have all your ducks in a row, and so that it makes the transaction much smoother on your end, so that when you go to, you're looking at new construction, you go to a builder, you've already got your pre-qualification. You're ready to go. You've got a strong offer. You're ready to move forward with the process. So,
you know, for the first-time home buyer in particular, some of this terminology really trips them up.
Sure.
What is the difference between being pre-approved and pre-qualified?
So the first step is the pre-qualification. The pre-qualification, the way that we do it at Jet Home Loans, is we will talk to the client, run the credit report, and review all the information that was given by the client. That will give the pre-qualification. The next step is our loan officers reviewing the documentation, review the documentation, and that next step is a pre-approval. So once we've reviewed all the documentation, we issue a pre-approval letter, and that is, telling a builder, a seller that everything's been reviewed and you're good to go.
It's almost like carrying around a check with an amount on it. All they need to do is put the builder's name
Almost.
in it, and they can own the home. Only one step away. That's pretty good.
Absolutely.
I know that it's critical in new construction that the loan officer, the loan company have a very strong relationship with the builder. I've invited Beatty McGraw from Dream Finders to be with us to talk more about how that relationship makes it simpler for that home buyer to be comfortably approved and get into the home quick. Beatty, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Wally. Appreciate you having me in.
I like that. You know, very often people will say to the builder, yeah, but I'm going to go shop my loan here, I'm going to shop my loan over there. Why is it so important to the consumer that they're working with a loan officer, a loan company, where there's already a strong existing relationship?
Sure. Well, it's twofold. One, as Jason mentioned, the pre-approval or pre-qualification process is key to the consumer, so that we're shopping for a new home, not only the plan they are looking at or the community they're looking at, but the options they may want to add to a new home. That's kind of the point of buying a new home, to have that customization, that personalization. So to understand exactly what they can afford is key when they come into the model to begin the process. Secondly, it's streamlining that through, you know, from selection of the home to options to closing. So for us, we found that a strong allegiance with a particular lender allows us to know that that buyer, when they walk into the showroom, that they can buy, they're qualified, we can work with them, and then we can deliver an expectation in a timely fashion.
I've heard on occasion that the builders as well as the lenders will have a collaborative relationship, not only to speed up the process, but sometimes there's an economic advantage to that home buyer. How does that relationship work to the economic advantage of the home buyer by dealing?
Absolutely. Well, that's a great point, Wally. And we have such a relationship with Jet Home Loans. We will provide an incentive to the buyer if they will use Jet Home Loans, our preferred lender. That's essentially a no closing cost transaction for them. We are going to pay all the loan fees, all the documentary stamp costs, the prepaids, you know, everything. Essentially, they're going to make their down payment on the home, and the rest is going to be on us, assuming that they will work with Jet.
There's thousands of dollars in incentives.
It is thousands of dollars, and that's obviously the advantage of working with Jet versus, you know, working with someone else that maybe from outside that they've had an experience with. And it's not to discount that other person that the consumer may have a relationship with, but it's in order to maximize efficiency and quality of service. And Jet is backed by Prime Lending, Plains Capital Bank out of Texas, which is one of the largest mortgage banks, you know, in the country. Right. And they really do a fantastic job. We hand selected them over many years of working through that process to finding the right fit, you know, for us and for our customers.
So at Dream Finders, you'll accept a bag of cash, you'll accept money from another lender, but for the person that isn't bringing the bag of cash or bringing another lender, your preference would be that they work with Jason and the team at Jet Home.
There is a discount for cash for those in the audience, but the closing cost incentive actually is something that's exclusive to Jet Home Loans for Dream Finders, at least within the Jacksonville market.
Got it. Jason, you mentioned to me that it's really more important to that home buyer to get their money in line before they've even picked a community. What's the best way to get hold of you at Jet Home Loans?
So the best way, Wally, at Jet Home Loans, go to our website at www.jethethl.com.
Got it. So now that I've got my bag of money in order, what's the best way to choose my community and my model home from Dream Finders?
The process all starts on our website, www.dreamfindershomes.com.
Dreamfindershomes.com. I'd like to thank Beatty and Jason for being with us today on the Home and Garden Show. For the Home and Garden Show, I'm Wally Conway. Welcome to the NEFPA Home and Garden Show. I'm Wally Conway. The NEFPA Home and Garden Show features the Northeast Florida Builders Association, very best contractors, remodelers, renovators, realtors, lenders, and vendors. Joining us on the Home and Garden Show today from the Bouchara Construction Law Firm is Tracy Valente. Tracy, welcome to the Home and Garden Show.
Thanks for having me, Wally.
You know, I speak to people all the time who are involved in construction, and they say, "Ooh, I have an attorney, I know a person." Why is it so critical that construction law be the specific expertise of the attorney I choose to be involved in my construction business or project?
It's important specifically in construction law to have someone who specializes more in construction because it's very technical. There's a lot of rules, there's a lot of regulation involved in it, and if you have an attorney who isn't that familiar with the statutes involved, you can lose a lot for your claim. There's strict time deadlines for filing claims. There's certain defenses, certain hoops you have to jump through before you can make claims for all different types of construction disputes. And if you have someone who's just more generalized, an attorney that's more generalized, you could potentially miss out on a lot there.
I suppose that's why they call it practicing.
We do practice. It is more of an art form than a science. But yes, I mean, it's really, it's important to get someone who knows what they're doing. And there's a lot of great attorneys in Jacksonville, but it's important really to focus on one whose practice is more centered around construction, so you don't miss out on money you may be owed.
So if there's a contract, it's really, the implication is it's a relationship, typically between the contractor and the homeowner for our purpose here in a NEFPA environment. Are you typically brought into the mix proactively to assure the contracts are in place, or should I just wait until I have a problem to call you?
Well, it depends on how much money you want to spend. If you want to spend a smaller amount of money up front, it's better to get us involved at the beginning. We can look at your contract, we can see what potential pitfalls there may be, or just really more help you understand potentially what it is, where the risk falls. Lots of times people don't want to spend that little bit of money up front, and then they end up needing to contact an attorney after a dispute arises, and at that point it can get terribly expensive. So it's always wiser to spend a little bit up front to understand your risk, perhaps negotiate your risk sharing better, than to have to spend a lot more once the dispute happens.
So if I'm a homeowner and I've selected a remodeling contractor and I feel good and I'm comfortable, suddenly they brought that scary document to me, you'll review that to assure that there's a place of comfort there.
Absolutely, absolutely. And because we do mostly construction law, we know what phrases mean. There's a lot of legalese in all of these contracts.
So what I'm hearing from you is you can help me to avoid litigation, and yet if we're in litigation, the construction expertise, we have a better chance to prevail with a construction expert.
Absolutely.
For people that would like to learn more, Tracy, about your firm, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
The best way is you can call me directly on my direct line, which is 904-562-1064, or go to our website, Beshara Construction. The firm is Beshara Construction Law Group, and the website is besharagroup.com.
Besharagroup.com.
So BACHARA group.com. And Chip Beshara, who's the managing partner, his contact information is there. My contact information is there. Feel free to email us. We'll always do a quick phone call with you, or do some email with you, just to give you some idea of what your situation may look like. But yeah, we'll be happy to talk to you.
I'd like to thank you for that. I'd like to thank Tracy Valente for being with us today. For the Home and Garden Show, I'm Wally Conway.